I see we're remembering Agnes Coughlin today, and so I have to be on my best behavior because even in her heavenly reign, she listens to my homilies and she critiques them all the time. So I know she's critiquing this one. And I'm going to give a hodgepodge. Even I think she would be surprised at this today. I've become a great fan of YouTube. YouTube TV, I think I pay $4.50 a month or something. I don't know what I pay. But the free YouTube I watch all the time because you can put a search on and you can find anything. Some of my best recipes, the best gossip, you get it. It's all there. And there is this Buddhist monk. I don't know his name. And so, you know those algorithms, once you do one thing, it just keeps popping up. So every day he comes on and gives, he's like this with a folded arms. He has this, I'll say insipid smile, but that's a judgment. It's just a smile. It's a Buddhist smile. They are always happy. And he says, it'll say something like this, the 4 things you should never say any day. And then one, he tells it, and he's always smiling. And at the end he says, Nagabuju I don't know what the words are. But I like it. I don't watch it all the time. I'm not faithful, but I like it because I think the Buddhist tradition is very close to Catholic tradition, the Christianity, Catholic Christianity, because some of the Protestant Christianity, that is, evangelicals and Pentecostals, is a little cuckoo for me. But the mainline Protestants, we're brothers and sisters, period. And I think the Buddhists are too. And he calls me to this, what I'll call this pure spirit. I think the Buddhists do that very well. They talk about the life of the spirit and what it means to live that. So this opening prayer today and all these readings, what they talk about, I think, is the war between the flesh and the spirit, or the body and the spirit, or the material and the spirit. And I think it's there. Paul loves to talk about it. To me, he needed to hear this. Paul, everything in moderation, including moderation, because Paul was not a very moderate person. He was black and white and all just strong. But the war of the matter or body is a war because it's so easy to sink into just taking care of the bodily needs, the desires. And those scream at us. The Spirit doesn't scream at us. The Spirit is whispering, saying, listen to me, listen to me. If you want peace and happiness, listen to me. But the body screams. And so we're always taking care of the body and all of these needs. And Jesus just goes right to the point. You know, he says, be merciful, just like your Father is merciful. Stop judging, and you won't be judged. Stop condemning, and you won't be condemned. And he goes on and on. And it's really the golden rule. And the golden rule deals a lot with the body and the matter. How are we going to live? What do we need to change? So in this first reading from Daniel, it's the history of Israel. It's the history of all of us. It's a history of humanity, that we just stray away from the spiritual. It's so easy, I'll say, regardless of what religion, even atheists, I mean, there's a spirituality in them. Lord knows on the 2 freeway, the Atheists United are taking care of part of the freeway there. I love them. The atheists. They're taking care of part of our freeway. Where is St. Bernard on there? St. Bernard Church, taking care of a piece of the freeway, cleaning it. But the spiritual is, to me, so important. And we can't live it all the time, every day, every second. We bounce in and out of it, but it is important to bounce into it. It's important to let that Spirit speak to us because it will realign us, it will open us up, it will dump some of the debris that gets into our life so easily and sticks. It will help us to feel harmony, and even when we hear dissonance, to hear a beautiful dissonance. It will just helps us to be focused and to live life fully. And I think today, this verse before the gospel and the psalm itself, but this verse before the gospel, it's kind of like a connective tissue connecting the body and the spirit and connecting all these readings today. And it just simply says this, and we hear this one many times throughout the year. Your words, Lord, are spirit and life. You have the words of everlasting life. And if we know that to be true, and I think we do, and when we say it and sing it and live it, it carries us through life. It carries us through life. So today, as we listen to these scriptures, I know it focuses a lot of sin. It sounds like, again, all that judgment and stuff from the Old Testament in particular. But, we pin all this on God. It's God's fault that we're being punished. It just isn't. I just can't believe it. And I think for all the stuff that we say about the mercy of God, I wish we believed it. I wish we believed that he loved us no matter what. I mean, don't you love your children no matter what? And everybody has some children that are creepy and strange and need a knuckle on the head and just don't get it and never learn from their mistakes. Almost everybody has one of those at least. But we still love them. And like it said earlier last week, if we love our children and we're sinful people, how much more this God who is perfection and love. And so today, let us let that mercy in, because I really believe, and I hope you do, that God is a God of mercy always, all the time, and he never, ever lets us down. Please stand.